want to try to bring it to the forefront. Right when a boy is born, the subtle stereotyping starts. He's provided with toys like a gun or a car to play with. In the fancy dress, he's expected to wear a dress of a superhero. While growing up, if we cry, we are heard that don't be a girl. Also, so we start suppressing our emotions. All of us would have heard this term: be strong, be brave, be tough. Developing the so-called right male interests like sports, doing outside work, managing money, learning to drive, we all are expected to do so. While choosing our ambition, we are expected to be ambitious and not choose profession like being a teacher or an artist or a counselor because they are considered softer ones. Also, being a male, with that gender, they associated the role of being a bread earner, the sole bread earner, the primary bread earner. But what we are forgetting is the pressure, the social pressure that comes with it. So I have a AV that I want to show you so that we can all understand about what type of stereotypes I'm talking about.
Can a truck change how people feel about a guy?
Which man is sexier?
Truck. That one is way more sex appeal.
That's a man wearing the pants, so that shows that men are in charge.
Manly means to not cry, not be a sissy.
Men work hard and they do all the sports and stuff.
Man up means toughen up and unemotional, go through it. I like drawing and I like birds and flowers.
It's sort of very stereotypical to assume that only girls can wear pink and play with princess dolls.
So from this AV, we clearly see there are a lot of stereotypes how a boy should look, what he should wear, what his hobbies should be, what his interests should be. And with all these factors, the society calculates his macho quotient. Research has shown that these stereotypes have a lot of dangerous consequence on a person's personality, his capability, and well-being. We tend to forget our own traits, or what we are capable of, what our temperament is, and we undermine our ultimate potential. So we tend to conform to the cultural notions of masculinity. So now we'll further look and introspect on this topic.
We have begun raising our daughters more like sons. But only a few of us have the courage to raise our sons more like daughters. With this note, I would like to start with gender imbalance in professions. Gender imbalance, which can be either skewed to both the sexes, is defined as a phenomena which could impact the entry of a gender into a profession. So, are these professions really stereotyped by the sexes? If we go by the ILO report, we could see that there are certain professions that have been stereotyped by the gender. For example, for the males, they have been stereotyped with the professions such as engineering, banking, and the construction industry. Whereas for females, they are better equipped for the professions that includes hospitality, education, dancing, and the fashion industry. So, what's wrong with the men cooking? If we see, women have been long time associated with the cooking, be it in private households or social gatherings, and cooking is associated as a profession dominated by the women. But if we look at the data presented by the hospitality sector, we could see some striking observations. The survey was conducted among the 7,000 chefs, and it leads to the conclusion that there have been various gender imbalance in the hospitality sector. The facts are about 77% of the hotel chefs are men. And if we look at the figures in the Indian hotel industry, the figure rises to 86.5%. The 72% males dominate the education catering business. Even if we look at the Indian chef industry, we could name a lot of prominent male chefs, be it Sanjeev Kapoor, be it Vikas Khanna, or be it Randeep Bra, but only a single women prominent chef, that will be Tarla Dalal. So I could say that gender doesn't discriminate while social perception does. Now it takes me to the next question. Is imagination actually contained by the sexes? The main dominance of the women in the fashion industry could be attributed to the fact that fashion industry is considered to be a feminine industry. And it leads to strong reactions from men who think they will be accused of having an interest in fashion, could lead to the question on the sexuality. And therefore, the straight men tends to back out from the fashion industry for the fear of being stereotyped. The fashion industry, which has been driven by the creativity and the imagination part, and all of us will agree on the part that the fashion industry are more suited for the women because they are more creative and designer. If we look at the facts, the world's fashion designers, the Council of the Fashion Designers of America, we could see that for the survey conducted, 156 men were better fashion designer recognized out of the 121 women who are the part of the council. And then with the next data, the Encyclopedia of Clothing and Fashion published last year, we could see that there were fashion entries of 36 women entries and about 69 male designers. So this clearly shows that the males have actually excelled in the field, in the women-dominated field. So are professions such as nursing and the teachers actually gender-defined? Do you think so? The gender discrimination has been one of the key issues that India is facing in the health sector as well as the primary education sector. And if we go by the facts, as per the facts presented by the MHRD, we need at least 7,000 males, mind it, males, and 10,000 each for psychology and social work subjects to redress the balance, the gender balance. And the number needed in the nursing profession is astounding 20,000. So don't let the male within you to not pursue your passion.
Hello everyone. Am I audible? Having discussed all the stereotypes relating to colors, relating to choices, and relating to professions, let us now move on to the other stereotypes which exist in our society, that is the social stereotypes. So I would like to play an AV in this context.
लड़के नहीं रोते
बैठो बैठो लड़के रोते नहीं
Stop crying, Rohan. Are you a girl? Boys don't cry. Okay?
Are you a girl? Why are you crying? Don't behave like a girl.
चलो.
Boys don't cry.
लड़के रोते नहीं.
मैंने बोला ना लड़के नहीं रोते हैं.
लड़के रोते नहीं है
लड़के रोते नहीं हैं.
लड़के रोते नहीं है लड़के नहीं रोते यार.
लड़के रोते नहीं, or boys don't cry, or real men don't cry. So in a way we are supposing that a man is not supposed to express his emotions in the society. But have we ever thought about its repercussions? Like if a man does not cry, he is accumulating those emotions which might come back later in a more bad shape and which might have more severe and drastic effects, including suicides. Like if we see in our societal norms, we do not display any emotions. Like men are not supposed to display emotions. They are supposed to be tougher and they are more like supposed to be handle situations better, and this decides their macho quotients. Similarly, and this is the reason that they end up suppressing their own emotions, and these emotions come back later in more severe form. So if we look at some stats, if we see worldwide more than 8 lakh people commit suicide every year, and out of these 8 lakhs, 6 lakhs are men. And similarly, if we see the Indian picture, more than 1,35,000 people commit suicide every year. And out of these 1,35,000, more than 1 lakh are men. So out of every 5 people who commit suicide, 4 are men. So have we ever thought about the reasons? What are the reasons that people commit suicide and most of them are men? So this has to do something with our societal stereotypes. So I have a story in this context, the story of Anil Varane. Anil was a 38-year male working as a civic engineer with a company in New Delhi. He was a happy family person in a family of 5 with 3 children. He was happily living till January 2015, until and unless his world turned upside down. In January 2015, Anil was handed the pink slip, or he was fired from his job. Though he lost his job, he did not lose his hope, and he went on to appear into 43 interviews where he was subsequently rejected. So the pressure of being the sole breadwinner of the family mounted on Anil, and on 23rd of September 2015, Anil took a drastic step. He killed himself. So this is not just a story of Anil. It is the story of thousands of men who are supposed to be the breadwinners of their family, and subsequently this pressure accumulates on them so much that they end up taking severe steps. So we have to see the larger picture. And like if we take just a simple example, at the age of 15, I want to become a rock climber, but my family will want me to be a responsible person and take up something which is more societally accepted. Like they will want me to be a chartered accountant, or maybe an IITian, or maybe an engineer. They want me to take up courses which are more socially accepted so that I can earn well and take care of my family, even if it comes at the cost of my dreams. But why this? This is a question we need to ask ourselves.
Okay, so what does it mean to be a man? What is manhood is all about? Is it about being macho? Is it about pleasing women? Is it about being powerful and rich? Or is it about being tough? But most importantly, do you feel comfortable in this manhood? Or is it that you're suffering underneath? Do you suffer because you're not masculine enough? Or do you suffer because you're the sole breadwinner of the family, and the family has great expectations from you? The reality is men do. And where does men are left out in this? They don't even talk about it, even to their most closest ones. They build a false manhood, and they hide themselves, and they don't really talk about it. They become a man for the society, but not really for themselves. Let's hear the untold stories.
The story of Prashant Sahani. Prashant Sahani, a 35-year-old software engineer working at Bangalore. One day suddenly, he and his parents were arrested and put behind the bars. What for? Accused for torture for dowry by his wife, which is a criminal offense under section 498A. After the arrest, an inquiry was carried out. The case was found to be false. The mere dispute of property was the sole reason behind the accuser of the person. He spent 3 weeks at the jail and was released. Was this the end of the story? No, this wasn't. He lost his job. He was forced to leave the society where he used to. He couldn't even pay the installments of the newly bought house. Later on, he wasn't able to get a good job. 6 months later, depressed, secluded, frustrated, denied from the society, he, along with his parents, committed suicide. But this is not the story of Prashant alone. Many men, thousands of men in India are being put under false accusation of dowry. Section 498A. So what is Section 498A? Non-bailable, non-compoundable offense. Non-compoundable means even if the complainant wants to withdraw the case after the complaint has been filed, he or she cannot do it. Out of 4 out of 10 senior lawyers in India say, if a man wants a divorce from his wife who is unwilling, he will definitely invite a false accusal under section 498A for himself and for his entire family. Stats say more than 10% cases filed in India for dowry are false, and this stats rises to 50% in New Delhi.
Okay, so people mistakenly believe that only women are victim of sexual harassment. But we know this is not true. Even men face it. And the statistics here are prove that. But that is not the point. The point is, why is it not being talked about? Why don't men speak up? Why don't they say anything? Or why nobody talks about it? And the reason is that the society stigmatizes men who are not able to protect and defend themselves. And to receive defeat at the hands of women, that is a totally shameful thing. So men refrain from talking about it and they suffer in silence.
So-called story of Braveheart sisters. I believe every one of you can recall the incident from this picture, which happened in Rohtak, Haryana, December 11, 2014. Two of the sisters thrashed Kuldeep in the bus, accusing him of eve teasing and sexual harassment. The video immediately went viral on the internet. The entire country watched it, appraised both of the girls, and even demanded for the bravery award for both of the girls. But was this the real story behind the scene? No, it wasn't. When the journalists conducted an inquiry, what happened in that bus on that day? All the co-passengers said there was no eve teasing, no sexual harassment. The issue was was just for a seat. The girls fought for the seat and made the issue of eve teasing and sexual harassment. The girls misused the power of law, and the whole society stood there silently and watched. My friends, this is not the case of Kuldeep. Many men are suffering silently in the society due to these laws.
Nicholas, a class 9 student. He was often victim of homophobic comments by his classmates because he was not masculine enough. One day a class was passing a swimming pool. Nicholas was thrown into that. And the teachers, along with the students, had a hearty laugh at him. He was a subject of humiliation for a long time, but this was too much for him to take. So what did he do? He jumped off the bridge. He committed suicide. Nicholas was gay. But could he really be that? Could he choose to be gay? No. The only option he had was to be definitely male. The society does not give him the flexibility to do that. And we know what is the plight of LGBT community when they try to come out. So, the point of this presentation is that gender stereotyping is harming people. And in the pursuit of definitely male, men are suffering. We are not trying to undermine the importance of feminist movement. That is equally important. But we are only trying to talk about the untalked and the unaddressed issue that men also suffer. Thank you. We are open to questions.